Hey there, Ted. I have a real bone to pick with you.
Marty, don't say the B word around that guy. He will get super jealous.
Age of Sigmar Warcry. Ossiarch Bonereapers versus Ogor Mawtribes. Hey folks, welcome to another Warcry battle report between the Boner Boys and the Marrow Drinkers. Looks like today I get to try out another warband that is yet to make an appearance on the channel, the Ossiarch Bonereapers. Nagash's Supreme Warriors are ready to bash in some Ogors in the Eightpoints, as we all have a good old Feast of Bones matchup in Warcry. So, without further ado, let's introduce the armies and then flip some cards to see what is in store for this combat. For the Bonereapers, in the Hammer Squad we have a single Mortek Guard and a Necropolis Stalker. In the Shield we have another Guard, our leader the Mortek Hecatos, and of course another Stalker. And finally in the Dagger we have a trio of Mortek Guard. For the Ogors and the Hammer we have a Gnoblar and a trusty Leadbelcher. In the Shield we have our Glutton leader the Crusher with a fellow Glutton Iron Fist. And of course in the Dagger we have a Glutton wielding two weapons and a little Gnoblar. Let's move on to the cards. For the terrain we flip over a slash of walls and obstacles. Open areas are present on the corner of the board and lots of terrain is just crossing through. Here it is, all set up on the table. Next is the deployment card and we turn over Vengeance. The fighters roll off, the Ogres winning the roll and decide to take the blue deployment zone. Each warband's Dagger Squad will set up in the first battle round while the rest show up in the second battle round. Now onto the victory card, and we get No Quarter. For this battle, the board will be divided up into 4 sections, each split down the center. At the end of each battle round, if you have more fighters wholly within a quarter, you get a victory point. The warband with the most points after the third battle round wins the game. And finally, the twist card is flipped and we get Winds of Rot. Each fighter gets to increase their toughness by 1. It may be tough to take some of these fighters down. Now, while I set up the 2 Dagger Squads here, you may have noticed that both warbands were above 1,000 points. I tend to play casual matched play games, and in this case, I don't think 5 little points will be a huge issue. So, with that being said, let's dive into some Turn 1 initiative. The Bonereapers are first, and they roll up a pair of doubles and a couple singles. For the Ogors, well, they roll up a straight. Wow, well, I have never done that before. The Ogors will decide not to spend any wild dice, and the Bonereapers will do the same. So we then start off with the Gnoblar, who will just take his turn and double move up near the smashed head of Sigmar, and end his turn there, holding down the northwest quarter. Then we move over to a Mortek Guard, who will simply just move down and actively hold the southeast quadrant, and just pass his turn over. The Glutton will then move up closer to where the Mortek are making sure to stay in an unoccupied quarter, and pass it over to the Bonereapers. And to finish off this extremely boring round, we will just better position both of these Mortek to hold the zones. This will then end Battle Round 1. It may be hard to tell, but each warband will gain 2 victory points this battle round, as each side controls at least 2 east and west quarters. But a number of fighters are entering in the second battle round, and I'm sure things will not be tied up after Battle Round 2. So, let's move on over to some initiative. For the Bonereapers, they roll up a pair of doubles and a couple singles. For the Ogors, they roll up a triple, and the rest are of course singles. They will take their 2 wild dice this round and make a quad and a double. And for the Bone Daddies, they will turn a double into a triple and create another double. And now we will set up the Hammer and Shield squads for both warbands. I can tell you right now, things are going to get a little spicy in these next couple rounds. So let's move over onto Ogor Mawtribes, turn 1. Right off the bat, the Leadbelcher will go first and move his 4 inches forward to get in cannon range of the Stalker, and use the quad ability, Thunderous Blast of Hot Metal, granting him 5 attacks, and now hitting on 3s. Firing a shot into the Stalker, the big cannon slams in 12 damage, and takes a big chunk out of those bones. Next, things move over to the Mortek Hecatos, who will use the triple ability Unstoppable Advance, granting him and his shield squad an extra 3 inches to each move. Then the leader will double move and get closer to the cluster of Ogors, and then pass his turn over. The Iron Fist Glutton will then use his first activation to move up and just get barely in range of a Mortek and attack in. Hitting in on 5s, now because of the bonus from the Twist card, and the Glutton deals in 3 damage to our little Flame Skeleton. Things then turn right on over to another Mortek guard who will just simply double move up and get into a different quadrant, hoping to land this one down for the Bonereapers this round. Next we hop over to our Glutton leader, the Crusher. He will use the On the Maw Path ability to grant a movement bonus to get right into base contact of the Bonereapers leader and attack in. Hitting on 5s, and he deals a whopping 12 damage, ending his activation. A guard is next, and will take that bonus movement granted to it this round, and make it all the way to the edge of a quadrant, and pass its turn. This two-handed Glutton will take his first action getting into combat range of this Mortek guard, and then take that Ice Club and slam in. Hitting on 5s once again, and the Ogor pushes through 3 points of damage. Following this, the Necropolis Stalker will take his boosted movement to get within 3 inches of the Glutton leader, and then use the Hunt and Kill double ability to get a free move and get right up to the leader and get a chance to attack in. The Stalker is hitting in on 5s and manages 5 damage to the blue leader. A Gnoblar is next, and this little guy will simply move up and get in a better position to continue to hold this quadrant for the Ogors and then pass his turn over. Following this, the Damage Stalker will double move up to the archway and move through, getting within combat range of a little Gnoblar, but he has no more activations and will pass his turn back over to, guess what? Another Gnoblar. This little guy has the last Mawtribes activation for the round. He will move up and attack into this Mortek guard. With 3 attacks, this guy hits on 5s, and he manages 3 damage into the already damaged guard. And for the final 2 activations, each Mortek guard will put themselves in a spot to tie and then hold a specific quadrant of the board. After this, we end Battle Round 2. Now let's count the models in each quarter. In the northeast, we have a tie between the 2 warbands, as you can see here. In the southeast, we have a single Mortek guard, so he gets a point for his team. In the southwest corner, the Ogors have a slight model advantage here, so they gain a point. And finally, in the northwest corner, we have a heavy advantage to the Bonereapers, so they gain a point. As of now, it is 4-3 in favor of the Bonereapers, and at the end of the next battle round, we will find out who is the victor. Let's move on over to some initiative. For the Bonereapers, they start things off and they end up rolling a set of doubles, and the rest are singles. And when the Ogres roll, they end up getting the same as the Skeletons. This leads to a roll-off, which the Ogres win. They will create another double for their warband, and the Ossiarch Bonereapers will do the same. We will then start off with the Ogor Mawtribes leader, who is going to attempt to take down the damaged Ossiarch Bonereapers Mortek leader. His Bear Trap hits on 5s, and the first attack deals in 12 damage, which is enough to take down his foe. He will then use the double ability Might Makes Right, and take an additional attack and a standard attack into the nearby Stalker. He hits on 4s here, and with both of its attacks deals in a total of 20 damage, which is not too shabby. The turn will then pass over to a Mortek guard who wants to thin down the numbers of the Ogre fighters. It will use the Nadirite Weapons ability to get a boost to his damage output and attempt to take down the Gnoblar. Hitting on 5s here, the first attack whiffs, and would you look at that, so does the second. That Gnoblar is one lucky little dude. The next turn moves over to the Leadbelcher, who will take a couple shots into the Stalker, hoping to take it down. Hitting in on 4s, and he deals in another 12 damage, but not enough to take down the Stalker. The Bonereapers really need to thin down the Ogors here to secure the victory, so once again they will Nadirite Weapon up and then attack into the Gnoblar. Because of that twist card, the Gnoblar gets some bonus defense. Hitting on 4s, and this time with both of its attacks, easily takes down the Gnoblar. Up next is a Glutton who wants to eliminate a guard to maybe give their warband a fighting chance. Hitting on 5s here, the first attack glances off the Mortek's shield, but the second mallet hammers through and crushes the guard. This ends his activation. Next is the Necropolis Stalker, who should easily take down this little Gnoblar. Hitting on 4s, and the first attack deals in enough damage to take out that little goblin. and the Stalker will just pass his second activation, ending his turn. The Ogor will take his turn and use the Iron Fist ability on the already damaged Mortek guard. He is looking for a 6 on one of these 2 dice to take down the guard, and he manages to slam his Iron Fist into the bag of bones. He will then move up to another Mortek and then attack in. He has 3 total attacks, and hitting in on 5s here, and this time he misses the target. Unfortunately for the Ogors, that was their last chance. With the Bonereapers being up by a victory point and controlling more quarters on the board than the Ogors, with still 2 activations to spare, the Bonereapers have taken the game by a score of 6-4, granting them victory. A quick game for you folks today, and that twist card really gave a nice bonus to the already high armor for the Bonereapers. Despite the extremely slow movement of the guard and the stalkers, I enjoy how these models from the Ossiarch line work on the Warcry tabletop. They are very defensive, and your big boys, well, they can pack a punch. The Ogors did their best in this battle and had some strong hits, but it was not enough in an objective-based game to overwhelm the opposing forces. I hope you all enjoyed this battle report, and I look forward to producing more of these in the future. As always, I want to thank you all for watching, and of course, happy gaming.